What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? It's your boy Jamal, aka J Storm. How everybody doing today? Today we'll be reacting to Logan Paul's new video that came out. Now, I was one of the very few people that actually saw the Japan video, and I disagreed what he was trying to do because he was showing the dead body and such. But I agreed that it was a mistake, and he is learning. So his new video right now is out, is #1 trending, and we about to react to it. So, and I'm gonna give my point of view on that situation and my experience, and then we'll go from there. So I'll catch you in the reaction video.
For 40 minutes, crying like a baby. Bikers, joggers, tourists, runners, they went by me. Police officers searching for suicidal people went by me twice. I'm standing at the ledge, leaning over the rail with tears flowing down to the waters. And I thought to myself, absolutely nobody cares. And then the voice in my head said, jump now, and I did. And the millisecond that my hands cleared the rail, my legs flew over it,
a few bit
was
of
an
it.
instant regret. The depression was wiped from my mind, and all I wanted to do was live, and I thought it's too late.
Kevin Hines was 19 when he jumped off the Golden Gate Bridge. He is one of the many incredible people that I've been grateful to meet over the past 3 weeks as I aim to further understand the complexities surrounding suicide. And I know I've made mistakes. I know I've let people down. But what happens when you're given an opportunity to help make a difference in the world?
The backlash against the social media star.
Very popular guy called
Logan Paul is in some hot
He's
water.
a complete and utter insensitive idiot.
Even he says his latest content was his biggest mistake.
I want to apologize to the victim and his family.
It's time to learn from the past as I get better and grow as a human being. I'm here to have a hard conversation so that those who are suffering can have easier ones.
So I've never been so humbled in my life by a single event.
Were you kind of shocked by it?
I was shocked to discover just how big this is.
You've never known anybody that killed himself?
No one. And that was part of the problem, is just my ignorance on the subject.
But in Ohio, where you come from, it's the second leading cause of death.
And I know while I'm not able to solve the problem by myself, I want to be a part of the solution.
And that solution began across the country in New York City. We sat down with Dr. John Draper, director of the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline.
We have to change the conversation publicly from just focusing on suicide and how something bad is happening, and say, well, what do we do about it? Help people understand that the first thing they need to do is reach out and talk to somebody when they're feeling in despair. Because you're not alone with it anymore. They've done studies with people who are experiencing any kind of pain, including hanging off a cliff. You can hold on a lot longer if somebody is right there with you.
I think as a society, as human beings, we just have to be more compassionate. And that includes me too. That's something I'm learning along this journey. And something else that Dr. Draper told me were the 5 steps that anyone can take to help prevent suicide. Step 1 is simply just ask. Ask yourself, ask others, are you thinking about suicide? And I know that sounds like a daunting question, but literally that question can save lives. And step 2, accordingly, would be just to listen. Be present, don't make any judgments, and then step 3 would be there for them, even after you've already asked, because dependability is key. Step 4 is then help them connect, whether it's with a friend, a family member, a local suicide hotline, therapist, but help them reach out to someone so they don't have to deal with this alone. Lastly, step 5 is just check in on them, show them that you care. Call them up, say, hey, I want to make sure you're okay. Can I check in with you over the next few days?
So one of the things that is so important about reducing stigma is getting stories out there about people positively coping with suicide.
Do you guys know anyone I could talk to with a lived experience of suicide?
Absolutely. We have quite a number of people that we could refer over to. Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah. And that's how we got introduced to Kevin Hines. 17 years ago, Kevin jumped off of the Golden Gate Bridge and survived.
These are individuals whose stories, when people hear them, they say, you know, maybe I can get through. As opposed to hearing stories when people haven't. And those are, unfortunately, those are stories that we've heard before. Now we're hearing more and more stories of people being more open about it. As I was saying before, Logan, for every one person that dies by suicide, there's 287 other people that think seriously about it but don't. Those are stories, again, that have not been told. If we told those stories of people who got through it as opposed to one who didn't, imagine what kind of influence that would have on people's behavior.
When I found out that 1 in 6 high school kids seriously think about suicide, that's stunning.
Yeah.
This is such a common problem.
Logan, all I wanted was for one person to look me in my eyes and say, hey, kid, are you okay? I am so grateful to be alive. And I'm grateful today for every millisecond I get to breathe. Because it was almost all ripped from me by me.
What's one thing you would have said to your younger self? To the Kevin who is 19, sitting on the bus, if you were next to you, and instead of the guy who pointed and laughed, what would you say?
I would just put my hand on the I would just put my hand on my shoulder and I would just say, I'm here for you. I got you. We need to be a society that comes together for every person in the community that's going through hell. And in order to do that, every person that's going through hell, whatever hell, has to be honest about their pain. And if they're going to be honest about their pain, we are going to collectively answer the call and be there for that individual. Because if you don't see beauty in the next person you meet, you're not looking hard enough.
You're incredible, dude. This is an honor for me.
It's an honor for me too, brother.
From this point on, I want to make an effort to contribute and immerse myself in the conversation. So I'm pledging to donate $1 million to various suicide prevention organizations, with the first $250,000 going immediately to the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline so they can increase their capacity to help those in need.
For anyone watching, I want you to know you are not alone, and most of the time, crisis passes. So if you or anyone you know feels alone or trapped, I encourage anyone to call or even text a suicide or crisis hotline. Both of those numbers are below, and although this is a tough conversation, it's important because things can and will get better. It's time to start a new chapter in my life as I continue to educate both myself and others on suicide. I'm humbled and thankful to say, this is just the beginning.
Sorry, you guys, but I agree with everything he said. I may not agree with what he did before, but at least he's trying to change his ways and try to be the part of the solution. Now, before y'all come into the comments and say, oh, he did this and that, or it's wrong with him and stuff, or suicide is a touchy subject. Yes, it's a touchy subject, but in order for that to be, how can I put it in words, to be not a problem and more of us as a community and as humans to fix that issue, we have to come together and do something about it, talk about it. Like, for example, my experience with suicide was during my younger teen years, where I was thinking about suicide like almost every other day because of my depression, toxic environment, and I was just thinking all sorts of negative things and energy. And then no one knows about this except for my family or even close friends, but they want to know that one night when everyone was asleep or everyone was quiet, I was thinking about it, and I had my personal knife that I used to protect myself, but then I was thinking about harming myself with it, but then something told me to not do it. And ever since then, I decided not to do it and talked about it to my parents, most likely my mom. I sought help. I went to therapists. I had it for 2 years during high school and a little bit during college. And then I stopped because for some reason my insurance didn't cover it, but that's a whole different story for something else. Anyways, after that, I gotten better and I was still feeling a little depressed, but not as too much. But then I finally started cutting out all the negative energy, all the toxic relationships or toxic things in my life. And now, as I can say, I have survived suicidal my suicidal phase. I survived. I am much happier now. And yeah, I get depressed or sad a bit, but I know it's only temporarily. So I challenge you guys who's watching to please talk to someone and try to be positive every single time you can. And don't let negativity hit you. And I don't know what else to say because I've been humbled before. It's multiple times. I'm humbled now. And I'm happy that I have people that love me and care for me. And I just hope the same for anyone who watching this video. If I can at least help one person or help motivate someone, even though I only have 20, maybe some subscribers, I don't really care. As long as my message get through off of this reaction to Logan Paul video, I just hope I help someone out. And I'm just keeping it real. I'm just someone from the hood trying to make it out. And I'm happy doing that. So thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time in the next video.
So why don't we just love? Why don't we just love? Why don't we forget about all of the drama, all of the odds and the problems, so we can just chill? So wavy we spill.